Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. It's a Saturday morning and we're making this video. We're trying something a little bit different this week. As I go back to work on Monday for income tax time, I won't be able to make my Facebook lives for the next few weeks, so I'm trying to make a video ahead of time and record it and then schedule it to be released at 1 o'clock on Monday, so that's our usual time. Nothing really much to mention this week other than celebration ends tomorrow, which is Sunday. It's been a good celebration, lots of nice good sets and freebies and nice papers, nice stamp sets. Everything was lovely this year. It will run again, celebration will run again in I think July and August of this year, which is different again. So there'll be more free products then for you to earn. Okay, so the card we're going to make today is it's called a peekaboo card. Okay, so let me see, when you open the card, this piece, the panel slides in. When you close the card, the panel goes away and you say the greeting. Okay, it looks complicated to make, but really it isn't. It's just a case of getting all the pieces in the right order at the right time. Okay, so I will turn the camera down, move the camera in. Right, so what we have, the parts of the card. We have a card front, and we're using Daffodil Delight. Let me see if I can drop that camera some more. I'm trying to get it as low as I can for you. Let's see, we have a piece of Daffodil Delight, and it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's your standard card front size. We have what we're calling the inside of the card, and it is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. We have the back of the card, which is Whisper White, and it's 4 1/4 by 5 3/4 and scored at 5 1/2. We have what we call the flap. I'm calling this the flap, okay? And it's 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it's scored at 3 inches. And then we have the mat for the front of the card, which is 4 by 5 1/4, standard mat size with like an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Okay, so then let's put these pieces all off to the side and see what we need to do. Okay, we're going to do the punching first. We're going to use a 2-inch punch, the 2-inch circle punch, and we're going to punch the holes out first. Okay, here's what we're going to punch first, because we're going to use that as the guide, and we're going to punch the holes, all the other holes to match this. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this in half. Okay, and this is going to be what I'm calling the front of the center. I'm going to slide the punch in, bring my punch right to the edge of my card. It's pushed in all the way right to the edge of the card. Excuse my hand, and punch. Okay, now, so then we're going to take a pencil. We're going to close the card, lightly draw a circle. Okay, open the card, line the punch up with this piece. Just going to turn it this way so maybe you can see it a little better. My hand's not in the way, and I can use 2 hands to squeeze the punch. There. Push those over there. So when you close this, those 2 holes should line up. They do line up pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so now you're going to the card front piece, which is this yellow piece, which, yes, card front piece, this piece. So we're going to take this and we're going to the edges here and here. My card doesn't seem to be quite straight. Line up the edges. Take my pencil again. Light circle. Now you can take your chances and just line your punch up every time, you know, hoping you've got the edge of your card in the same place, but it's just as easy to draw a circle, and like when you punch it out you don't see the pencil marks, so I think we're okay. So now we're going to take the mat, which is this piece, which was 4 by 5 1/4, because we've got going to have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lie it down. I'm going to pick it up first, measure it so that I know about where my mat's going to sit. Okay, turn it and put it face down on the desk, draw my circle again. And the reason I did that is because you can't line the punch up this time, because you're a 1/4 inch short on one, an 1/8 of an inch short on one end. So there we have that. Alright, let's get those circles out of the way. Keep those circles, by the way, you can use them on cards and whatever, you never know when you might need something to back something. So what we're going to do, we're going to assemble the card. First of all, we're going to use tear and tape to assemble the card, because tear and tape is really sticky. I am going to do this piece first, okay? Using tear and tape, I've got my fold at the left, my card backing here, okay? So my card is going to sit here like this, the center. This piece is going to sit here like this, and this is going to line up right on there like that when I get the tear and tape on. I'm just going to trim that before I take the ends off. And you can see that my tape, I wasn't quite straight when I put the tape on because I got a little bit of overlap here, but that's alright, because tear and tape you can fold back. It's just like adhesive, like your regular adhesive. Take my pokey tool, I'm going to lift this off. Oops. Maybe not. Let me burnish that down so it's stuck right down. Try again. There we go. Okay, turn this back around, and this is my card sitting this way, and I want to line, I'm going to use the lines on my grid paper, line my card up on the lines, because I want my card to be as straight as possible. Okay, and I'm going to take this piece, I'm looking at my line, it's not quite straight, hold on, let me lift that. There's my line, there we have it. Okay, so this is the center and the back of your card. Alright, how does it go? That goes back like that, and this piece folds like this. Bone folder, crease it nicely, press this end down firmly because I want this end to be really stuck well here. Alright, so there's one part. The next part, this is my card front, and this is going to go on top of here like this. Okay, and I'm going to use just my regular snail adhesive, but I'm going to use a fair bit of it. Alright, I want to go right down the end, and I want to get as close to the edges as I can, because I don't want the thing to come apart. Alright, did I go over there? Yes, I did. So I went over there, I'm just going to wind that back. Okay, so I've gone around all four sides. I'm going to go sort of around the circle a little bit, and then an extra strip down there. Peel my fingers off if I can, and I'm going to turn this around because I'm right-handed, and I find it easier to line things up this way. Put that on there, line that up, pull it just a little bit and line the bottom edge up as best we can. Okay, so what we have is a card that looks like that if you're looking down on it. Alright, almost a Z fold. I can feel a little bit of adhesive on this edge, but I'm just wiping it off with my fingers so that it doesn't stick, and I'll make sure there's none on there. Okay, so here you have your basic card. So now I've got this piece, which is what we call the flap. Okay, we're going to adhere the flap, we're going to open the card up and adhere the flap to there, like so. This piece goes on here and folds in, and what happens is your card sits like that. Okay, so we're doing this right. So let me just find my tear and tape again. Piece down here. Make sure it's firmly stuck. Trim it. Just get the sticky pieces off the end. Goes there. So we're going to take this piece on the end and we are going to line it up. And as I said, this little white piece might be too long. Okay, so we'll trim it. So your card sits like that, right? Just burnish that so it lies down flat. There. So your card will sit like that. This is the front of your card. This here is the piece that was folded in half, the 8 1/4 by 4 1/4, and this is your flap and this is the back. Alright, so there you have basically your basic card. Alright, now we also have a piece for the front of the card that is going to mat the card. If I turn it the right way, mat the card. Alright, we're going to stamp this piece first before we put it onto the front of the card. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to have something stamped here, as you can see, and when you open the card and the slider comes over, we're going to stamp something there. Now you're going to trim that before I stamp so that I can get my stamping in the right spot. I'm going to take 1/4 inch off this. I'm going to line it up down there. It's about 1/4 inch. There. I took about 1/4 inch off because I want that to lie nice and flat when you open the card. So let's try again. Here we have the back of the card, the flap, and the front. And when we open the card, that card lies nice and flat now. Alright, that's what we're aiming for. Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to take the pencil again and draw a circle here so that when we stamp we can get our image in the circle. We're going to open the card and this is going to lie down flat, and we're going to draw another circle. So basically what we've done is we've drawn a circle on the inside of the back of the card, we've drawn a circle on the inside of the flap of the card. Okay, I'm going to close it up and there you have it. Alright, you're going to see it like that. So what we're going to do, we're going to open this up. This is the back of the card. Oops. And the stamp set we're going to use is a new stamp set that they brought to match an old stamp set. We used to have a stamp set many years ago called Hey Chick. It was a celebration set, and they brought out this one to match it. It's called Hey Birthday Chick. It's got lots of nice funny little chickies on and birthdays and what have you. We're going to use the two, Happy Birthday and You're Still a Spring Chick. We're going to use the chicken, and we're going to use this chicken with the birthday with the cupcake on the inside. Okay, it's a nice set. and I think, you know, you could get a lot of use out of it. It also has dies that go with it, framelits that go with it. But we didn't need the dies this morning. All right, so what we are going to use, we've got daffodil cardstock. We're going to use Daffodil Delight and basic grey with just a splash pink Mango Madness on the front. Okay, so first of all we are going to stamp in the center. Wait a minute, I'm on the back of the card. Okay, I'm on the back of the card, so we're going to stamp Let's Celebrate You. And I think I have everything except that stamp out. There it is, Let's Celebrate You. Do I have a little block? Yeah, there's a block. Whoops. And I'm going to stamp that in grey granite. Okay. And this is the part that I'm stamping on the inside of the back of the card. Put the card the right way up. Oh, that's lovely. Let's Celebrate You. And we're going to use Memento to stamp the chicken on the front of the card, on the card mat. Okay. So can I turn that over? Is that clean? Yes, that's clean. Okay, so this is just so that I don't get everything in a mess. And I'm going to use Memento, and I'm going to use the big chicken, this one, right way up. Okay, I'm going to stamp him in Memento, and that's because I'm going to colour him with alcohol markers. So we're going to put him down about the middle. Lovely. Clean him off. Get him out of the way. Get rid of the Memento, because we don't need a sleeve in the Memento today. And then we'll put that to one side. We're keeping that here, and we're going back to the grey granite. And we have a happy birthday, and we have on the other side of the stamp, you're still a spring chicken. Okay, so this is grey granite again, and I'm going to stamp happy birthday at the top of above the chicken. Just like that. I'll dry it off on my jeans so it's not wet. Turn the stamp around, and now I'm stamping You're Still a Spring Chicken on the bottom. There, lovely. And that's one way to use your long blocks for two separate stamps. You put one the right way up and one the wrong way up, and then when you turn it around you're always stamping the right way, but it saves you a block if you can't find enough blocks. Okay, so we've got that. We're just going to pop that to one side for a minute. We're going to, I want to stamp this chicken with the cupcake, but he's too big. Okay, really, I don't care that he's too big, as long as the side of the stamp doesn't come over onto the yellow. If I can keep it all on the white part, I'm okay with that. All right, so we're going to stamp that, and we're going to have to stamp that in yeah, we are. We're going to put the brown away for a sec, sorry, the grey away, and we're going to get the Memento out. I should have kept the Memento out. I'm just doing this slightly in the wrong order. Okay, let's get him some feet. And as I say, we just want him right in the circle with his cupcake, because we're going to colour him. Lovely. Alright. The pencil lines around the circle we'll remove later, but we just wanted those pencil lines so that we knew where we were stamping. Okay, pop that out of the way. We'll leave that, we'll give that a minute to dry. I'm just going to set that aside for a minute to dry. We're going back to the chicken, which is dry. Rid of the Memento, and we're going to pick this. We're going to pick yellow and pink. And we have, in the same set, we have a little stamp that's confetti. Okay, we're just going to stamp that around, but I've got an extra piece of paper because I want to stamp the pink off because it's very bright, but it's okay. It's a nice bright pink and it's a birthday card. And we're doing it before we put this mat on the card because we don't want to overlap onto the yellow, okay? Just turning the stamp or stamping it off so we haven't got too much colour. A little bit of pink here and there. Clean that off. And we'll use some yellow just to give it some accent. The yellow I think I'm going to use full strength because it's sort of the lighter of the two colours anyway. There, we're just finishing that off. Now the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sponge brush. This is one of the new sponge brushes, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of colour, yellow, and I'm just going to edge the inside of this circle. Just to give it a bit more of a finished edge, right? And it just means it's not such a harsh edge when you put it on the card. It'll blend a little. This I'm just going to run under the tap. I'm going to clean it off and then I'll just run it under the tap when I'm finished, okay? Alright, so I've got some markers here and we're going to set that to one side. We're going to bring in the card again. Get rid of this scrap of paper. We're going to colour the chicken. So we're going to use the pink just to colour the icing. That's all we're using the pink for. We're going to colour the bottom of this in grey for the cupcake wrapper. I'm going to use this and colour my little friend in grey here. Because you've coloured, or because we stamped in Memento, the colour should not run, okay? The Memento should hold the colour in where we want it. Oh, let's give him some yellow hair. I mean, his hair's a mess anyway, so you don't have to be particularly careful. Colour his beak. Yeah, I think we'll colour his little face in grey as well. There. Now we could, if we wanted to, give him like lots of shading and, you know, fill him in and do shading and everything. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave him as he is. There. So he is there. We have Let's Celebrate here. He's the right way up. The words are the right way up. We're going to take this and we're going to colour the chicken in, and we're going to use excuse me, the light grey granite again. It's hard to talk when you're colouring, you know. Like that, we'll do a little bit of shading around which side. Oh, I don't know, let's just do this side. I'm giving some marks. And then just lightly go over this where we've given them the darker colour with the light grey granite again, and when it dries it will blend better. A yellow beak and a yellow comb. And there he is. Okay, let's get the markers out of the way. We're just going to take this now and we're going to put this on the front of the card. Just using snail adhesive. Oops, if I could get it. We should have, the trick here is to line the hole up. Okay. There. Still got a little bit of adhesive sitting somewhere there. So I have an adhesive eraser and I'm just going to run that down the side of the card. There. Got it. And then I'm going to take my white eraser and I'm going to go back through my card. Let's have a look. These two portions here, and I'm going to erase my circle. Alright. Just a regular white eraser. Got a little mark there. Oops. Check my card, and there's the card we just made. Okay, but that's a really fun card, you know. It opens up. Oops. The chicken slides in, the chicken slides out, chicken slides in, chicken slides out. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video this morning. As always, let me know your comments. If you would like the instructions and the measurements for this card, let me know and I'll email them to you. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.